Welcome to a new episode of our podcast dedicated to regulatory affairs and life science. In today's episode, we will talk of PMCs and biocidal products and what companies should know. Companies distributing medical surgical aids, Presidi Medico Chirurgici (PMCs), have been facing for a long time a significant change in regulations, the progressive transition toward Regulation EU 528 of 2012 on biocides. This evolution of the regulations is a real challenge for many companies, especially small and medium-sized enterprises, requested to adjust to requirements that are becoming more and more cogent in terms of authorization, preparation of the technical dossier, and regulatory management, to be able to continue to operate in the European market in compliance with the new rules. Regulation EU 528/2012 introduced a harmonized system at European level for the authorization and marketing of biocidal products. The regulation goal is to ensure the protection of human health and environment, imposing strict requirements and a centralized management via the European portal R4BP3. In Italy, PMCs are currently subject to a national regulation, the Presidential Decree 392 of 1998, but only transitorily. Once the active substance evaluation phase by the European Commission is over, the product shall be authorized as a biocidal product according to the provisions of the EU regulation. This means that companies should act now or may risk to find themselves unprepared in front of forthcoming deadlines on the approval of active substances, high costs for the preparation of the dossier according to the European standards, long timelines for the assessment by competent authorities. On the other hand, a proactive approach and an appropriate regulatory planning allow to be ready at the deadline, consider strategic alternatives, and maintain market continuity for one's product portfolio. Let's try then to answer companies' questions about the compliance with the requirements of the biocidal products regulation. Must a PMC become a biocidal product? Yes, if it contains an active substance approved at European level for the specific product type. Until when is it possible to authorize a new PMC? Until a year before the date of approval of the biocidal active substance referred to the PT of interest. How can one know if the active substance was approved? It is possible to consult the official list of the approved active substances in the ECHA website or request a technical evaluation from a regulatory consultant such as Renzo Regulatory Affairs that is able to provide an updated and detailed analysis. What is needed to authorize a biocidal product? To obtain the authorization, it is requested to submit a well-structured technical dossier, including chemical physical analysis, toxicological and ecotoxicological data, studies on the product efficacy, information on the composition, labeling and use conditions. The dossier should be uploaded into and managed via the European portal R4BP3 and can follow different pathways: a national authorization, a mutual recognition authorization either in parallel or in sequence, or a union authorization. How much does it cost to authorize a biocidal product? Costs vary based on the type of procedure, either national, mutual recognition or unional, on the type of product and number of markets involved, and on the need of integrative studies. For an SME, costs may be significant. For this reason, it is advisable to evaluate collective strategies such as the access to existing dossier via a letter of access or the formulation of a family of biocidal products. How can the Renzo Regulatory Affairs support companies in the sector of biocidal products and PMCs? With their in-depth knowledge of the national Italian regulations on PMCs as well as of the EU Biocidal Products Regulation, the Renzo Regulatory Affairs is the ideal partner that can support companies in this delicate transition. Among other services, we also offer feasibility studies to identify the correct procedures to be followed to authorize the product, the evaluation of the active substances at European level, the assessment on the completeness of the dossier provided, the drafting of the summary of product characteristics via EU CLID, the interaction with the ECHA as well as national authorities, and full support in the use of the R4BP3 system. The transition from PMCs to biocides regulated at European level has already started and will progressively involve all the companies operating in this sector. The companies capable of a timely planning and trusting expert consultants will be able to maintain their competitiveness, avoiding disruptions in the marketing of their products and optimizing time and costs. Contact us for a quick check of your product portfolio and find out how we can help you to turn regulation compliance into a competitive advantage. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you want to listen to other podcasts, sign up for our channel, follow up on social media, and join us for the next episode.